Good morning, club members. I want to answer a question that is often asked about the pace at which you should do your reps. And in answering this question, and think along these lines, if I'm doing a curl, for instance, the big question is, do I do up for a 2 count, 1, 2, and then down for a 2 count? Or is it better to go 1 up, 3 count, down, slow? What? Let's talk about this. You have 2 different phases of any lift. You have the concentric and eccentric, but I don't want to use that. I want to use positive and negative. The positive is the way up, and the negative is the way down, all right? And so it's natural, because the word is what? Lift. I'm lifting weights, that most people emphasize the lift part with scant regard to the pace at which they do the negative phase. Here's the thing though. The negative phase, that is the way down, is where most of the muscle building takes place, provided you give it its due. And so in general, most people don't give it their due. They emphasize this and then let it drop, and this and let it drop. But if you just would go at a slower pace on the way down, what you'd find is not only are you observing that negative phase, where most of the muscle building takes place, 60 to 70%, provided you go at a reasonable pace. Not only that, but also you have more time under tension. And what does that mean? Well, let's just say that I can curl for 40 seconds. Well, if I blow the negative phase, then of those 40 seconds, I was only really under tension for 20 of those, because I was only really working on the top phase, and then I was just dropping them. So of those 40 seconds, I wasted 20. It would be far better to work out for 40 seconds and focus on both phases, so that when the 40 seconds are over, then I can say that for those 40 seconds, I was completely under tension, and for that, I'll get the reward of more muscle. Now, that is the basics of it, but that can be done on anything. A push-up, go up fast, bring it down slow, control it. That way you're always under tension, and you're also observing the negative phase. I'm going to show you an advanced way to do this, and for this, I'll enlist Jacob. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
All right, well, perfect. I am going to show an advanced way to do the negative phase, and I'm going to use you. I'll be the spotter here. Once you lift that up, we'll just do a regular arm curl. And here's what this is all about, folks. This weight is probably a little bit too heavy for me to expect him to lift this all the way up. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to take it and move it for him. Why don't you face me just a little bit here? Good. And then he's going to let it down for a 4, 6 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And back up. Now again, this is an advanced way, and you can't really do it unless you have a spotter. This is more weight than he could do 1 rep going positive, but he can still get the benefit of the negatives. This is true strength building. This is true muscle building. And as I say, it's not something you want to do unless you have a spotter, because you've got to find a way, unless you have a forklift to lift it for you, to get it to that positive phase for him to do this. All right, so as you can see, there are lots of exercises wherein you can emphasize not just the positive, not just the concentric, but also the negative, the eccentric, and make it last 2 to 4 seconds at the very least, and you'll do the most that you can to build muscle in an efficient way, maximizing time under tension. Jacob, thank you for showing up and helping me. See you next time.